I'm going to do a very simple guided meditation. And if I could encourage just beginner's mind, rather than you have a way that works for you, wonderful, wonderful, great, more, go for that. But if you can just relax that a little bit and just precisely follow what's being suggested, it will allow a new and different and more open and less conceptual pathway to happen in your system. You may have heard it all before. Yeah, I got that. You know, I'm so brilliantly awake. I don't need any of that at all. Okay. But it is an invitation. The only book that I saved when we moved from our house in Kansas to Colorado was Suzuki Roshi's Zen Beginner's Mind and Trungpa Rinpoche's book. And those two. And what remains is Beginner's Mind. It's all new again. It's actually all new again. So we're really settled, you know, it's been enough time, and there may be wars raging in your mind still, but you know, just say, it's all right, sweetheart. I'll come back to the war later. Just relax, kind of fall out of the mind. If there's anything to tune into, it's the attention. Where is the attention? And just simply direct. It's the living spirit itself that's directing. Just move it, the attention to the back of the head. And just in an open kind of wing-like movement or opening. And there's something, some presence, some being that's blooming and encircling behind and including behind the head, but including the whole body. Some of the beautiful Hindu, especially imagery, shows that in their art. And it is like something alive and constant and brilliant, but yet subtle in its presence and how it envelops and surrounds you. This sense of body, mind, me. And then just simply move or extend, this is more accurate, extend the attention that is behind and the sort of the top of the head and behind the head, and then just move down the spinal column, the central channel. And sense the tailbone, but rather than now my attention is in the head, now the attention is in the tailbone. Extend it until it's all one open field of being. And with this whole body attention, then just subtly pick up the sounds within this room. And because it's so quiet, the attention has to become, or the listening has to become more and more and more quiet and refined. Because there's actually, even though there's not the obvious sound of traffic or, sounds from the kitchen or whatever, there are sounds within the atmosphere, especially in such a sacred space as this. It's alive with a ringing or a singing or a crystalline quality. There's been many descriptions, but open up to that subtle, deep listening with the whole body. And since behind the eyes, there's a light. And again, sense or see with the whole body, not a one-pointed attention. And that whole body picks up a luminous quality. Perhaps for some, it's, just kind of a dark, but go into the dark and there's a more subtle layer that's more of like a luminous quality. And then you may be able to go even deeper, diving even deeper with the true seeing. And there's a quality of like a dark, nourishing, like a fundamental ground. And sense it with the whole being, not a one-pointed concentration. And then just like up and down the spectrum of, like the central channel, then just bring the attention, and it kind of comes from the back and it comes inside of the body. And it roots or grounds, it just kind of melds into the central channel, the spine, the bone, the vertebra. And that subtle seeing, that subtle noticing, even that subtle listening, as it grounds and roots within that the sacrum or the vertebra within the spine, and go within, not floating in front somewhere. Really go in it. It's one thing. Then you'll notice spontaneously, as it deepens, it widens at the same time. And so as it deepens and settles, there's an opening and a widening that begins to fill the whole pelvic bowl, staying still within the parameter of the body image. And it begins to then fill up, and this is just simply, it's being made conscious, it's always present, and it just starts to wake up and fill up through the whole body. And it's like, if one would look at it, it would just be this outline of a kind of a blue luminous light, but inside is completely dark. and then maybe like a shine or a luminous quality, a clear light that floats on top of the dark and goes into the dark. And then again, spontaneously, it's coming out of its own wisdom. It is something that you, as a spiritual person, need to do or recognize. It naturally will happen if there's just this open allowance and a deep seeing and a deep listening with what actually is. It begins to spread out beyond the outline of the body. It doesn't abandon this deep rootedness within the bones, within the body, the true body, but it expands because it is all one, it's all one. And the same root, fundamental, dark ground, the primordial, is the same Godhead for every form, visible and invisible. And so it naturally opens up to itself, within and without, disappears, and it's just one whole ground of being. That includes everything within this room and everyone, and it moves outside of the boundary of the temple. And it moves out into the trees, and it's the one root of the trees, and it's the one root of the ground and the rocks. It's the one root of the mountains, and it's the one ground of the sky. And it even opens up through the sun and into the dark, black sun. The empty, dark sun. It's like seeing the black infinite sky, and one can see just on the edge of it, and then it kind of bounces back down into the eyes, the seeing organs, or it can enter the dark sky, the night sky, and it can expand and ascend and forever, forevermore, until the seeing is in the interior of the dark, black night. It is above, it is all around, it is all the way through, it is behind, and it is below. And that there is no end to that. It is without direction. It is without position. It is without a central location. And just for a moment, let that extend without boundary, without a limitation. Above, below, all the way through, and all around. Beyond, 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 beyond. And the eye of awareness permeates it all. It is within this limited limitless, dark ground of everything. And any sense that this remembrance of a separate me that's still like searching or trying to understand or trying not to think or whatever, that subtle remnant of me is still trying. It's like rising and trying and not doing and doing. And so just let that subtle remnant of me dissolve and be taken and be absorbed in this unimaginable, eternal, unlimited ground of everything. It's like being extinguished. It just is absorbed back unto itself. It's as simple as that. No position, no locality, no limit, nothing bound, nothing defined. And just for a moment, it's like a deep informing of what this full absorption back into itself actually is. It's the one constancy. It's before birth, before death, perfectly managed by the unborn. This infinite, dark, rich, pregnant, full ground. And everything is consumed and brought back into itself and dissolved. Complete, whole. Let this inform. And when there's a something reserved by the ego, let it be seen of what it's being dissolved into. And it will drop the reserving and the fear. This is why you've taken this incarnation, is to come back and to be fully absorbed as this. And so once again, just simply go through. It's all through the body. It's all around the body. It's above and below, with no limit or boundary. Being absorbed back into itself. This is why you're here. So simply come back, but not to pull all of this informing, this openness, this great emptiness, this great absorption. And you'll find that the body moves with ease. It can do what it is doing with perfect clarity. It's being held and moved by this. All is perfectly managed in the unborn.